What is going on, my fellow co-creators? Thank you guys so much for tuning into another session. So where we left off last time, our crew was trying to make their way across the gap from Alacardia to the bigger continent. Now, more specifically, over to High Oak Forest, where they could check out the monastery where Kai formerly trained at and see what's been going on there. Now, as they were making their way, they encountered a Kraken, and instead of turning and running, they decided to encounter it instead. And the Kraken started giving them the business, as it started, wrecking them and ripping them across the rough, jagged edges of this kind of canyon wall. Now, however, the crew in this heat of battle was saved by a mysterious unknown figure with one arm wielding a kind of rapier-style sword and somehow extending a 60-foot chain out of the palm of his hand. Now, the crew decided to trust in this guy as he literally showed up to save the day and kind of led them to a point of safety into High Oak Forest, where they hoped to learn more of this mysterious figure that literally showed up out of nowhere to save their lives.
As you guys all follow this mysterious character down this cliff, right into the edge of High Oak Forest. It's going to walk you right over to one of the very, very tall trees. And as you guys are walking down and walking out into the forest, this is a very thick and dense forest. There are tree trunks as far as the eye can see. That's literally all that you see. There's bushes, there's rocks, there's very, very lush greenery. This is a completely different landscape than anything you guys have seen in Alacardia, which is very much rocky, very much, lava rock, and volcanic in nature. And you guys are seeing this lush vegetation. You are seeing so much different shrubbery, plants, flowers, all sorts of things. You also are hearing sounds like animals, and something very, very different than the cinder spiders and magma ants that are throughout Alacardia. You're hearing birds kind of chirping and different rustling through trees and different creatures, running through the trunks above and the treetops. And as you guys kind of walk down to this kind of little bit, just a clearing right at the base of this kind of mountain cliff, this kind of vampire kind of turns and just kind of looks at you all. What would you like to do?
Who the fuck are you, man?
Sir.
Bro, you said you're lying. Don't talk to him like that.
Is that what you'd like to say?
Yeah, be polite.
Yes, dude, y'all. That's what she's the only lady.
You can do that too.
And he throws Kieran back over the edge into the mouth of the Kraken.
Okay.
That is the end of Kieran for this evening. He is dead, no longer joining us, so he's going to have to make a new character next week. I don't know. But is that what you'd like to say now?
Yeah, who are you, bro?
As he kind of looks at you all, and y'all can tell he's kind of sizing each and every one of you guys up, and that kind of head to toe. He looks. He says, "I am a Ramaka of House Raishi.
Okay.
I'm a true blood vampire, and the one who just so clearly saved all of your near asses from certain death."
Speak for yourself.
Now, I gotta ask, what would a uncertain creature, and he looks to you, Behemoth, a leprechaun of sorts, and you are blown away at the fact that he knows who you are.
But he still doesn't know who I am.
He's a dwarf.
Dark elf with something deeper going on,
You spell that.
and a half-human monk trying to cross the gap between Alacardia and the Grand Continent.
Macaw.
And he's asking you.
I'm speaking.
Also, Aramaka for spelling ARAMACA.
CA.
I was close.
Alright, well, I'm speaking for the group. I stand up.
You stand up? Okay. Behemoth is standing up, group, just so you all know.
We all do this.
Y'all can shake your heads, Look, Theo Maz sent us here. I had this crazy dream about that stupid Kraken thing. It was a nightmare, and I'm grateful that you got us through it. I have no idea who the heck you are, but Theo sent us here, and there's a definite purpose for us to be here. So you asking us what we're doing here, my question is, what are you doing here?
$20, you know, Theo.
So you all know Theo, and he looks to the rest of you as Behemoth kind of spoke.
I give you no damn $20.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was good. That was pretty decent for.
And what is this mission or quest Theo has sent you on?
Whoa, why do you want to know?
I'm blind. I'm just telling that.
His monk friends, they're having issues. We're supposed to go check this monk temple out. I know that. That's part of this deal. We're supposed to go check out this monk temple.
With some creatures you don't like very much. The
And
werewolves.
Behemoth kind of just blurts out this kind of stuff, and Terry says werewolves. in the bag. Well,
I would like some more.
Please.
So you're trying to make your way to the monastery, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Interesting. I would assume, being sent from Theo, you would have a map.
Yeah,
I
I do.
can't see that.
Right, he can't use the map. That's funny.
He's addressing the whole party. You don't know he's addressing the whole party. In
That's
your mind,
hilarious.
he's like talking directly to you. You're like, bitch, I don't know.
I don't think. Can't see maps.
Screw you. What is your problem?
Freaking hilarious, though. He's like, man, I can't see.
North, south, east, or west. It's all right.
I don't know.
The wind's blowing this way, guys. I got that much. It's blowing this way.
Just where we're going.
For real, though.
I am the man of 4 elements. The wind is blowing that way, guys.
How he doesn't like his height. Everyone makes fun of his height. Everyone's like, just look that way. I can't look that way.
We have a map.
Terry pulls out his map and hands it over. And as this character kind of looks at it, so I'm led to believe that you all have really been only doing things in Alacardia for the time being.
I mean, I was in
prison. I don't know where we are.
He was in prison. I'm only like 3 weeks old at this point.
I assume you trained in the monastery, is that correct?
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
About a year ago.
I don't know. I'm blind. I can't tell time.
I can't tell time! When's the sun up? When's it down? I don't know.
Especially
He
now.
said, I feel warm. Could be the sun. Could be a dragon. You never know.
Could be a volcano.
As this character, Ramaka, kind of hands back this map, if you're going to make it to the monastery, you're going to need something a lot more usable. And he kind of hands over out of his satchel on his hip
Such a big map.
a big boy map.
Knocked over a tree.
We have graduated. The big one that.
It took a couple trees
What
to make
map?
You
that.
show off the big boy map to everybody,
No.
except for obviously Kai. 'Cause
What map?
Dun, dun, dun.
You see it?
No.
Can you see it?
It's like a
Oh,
bike.
Kai, come look at this.
Right.
Okay, bro.
This enclosed grouping is the monastery.
Okay. And we are.
You guys are about right over here.
Oh, snap. Good. One misclick and I shoot you a demon now, bro.
Okay, so you guys are about right here, just crossed, about right here. And you make it down over that way. It's monastery. Theo, like Theo said, throughout the forest, people have taken refuge, and there are some small different communities that have just tried to, make their way and live and survive in High Oak Forest. And as Ramaka hands this map over to Tarek, Kai kind of, starts jumping up and down and seems to have a question. And as he inquiries about some high oak route, Ramaka realizes that these guys might need a little more help as they're, if they're successfully going to navigate their way through High Oak Forest. And he kind of tells Behemoth and Kieran to go get some firewood, tells Tarek to go kind of prepare a tent or get some rations ready for the crew. Meanwhile, he goes and kind of posts up next to a tree, kind of sticks his sword in the ground and asks for Kai to come over next to him, and they start kind of chatting it up and start talking a little bit about different things. And Ramaka seems very interested in Kai and just who he is, who he wants to become, a little bit of his background and just kind of his whole goals and motive. And he seems to be very, very willing to help Kai to succeed in his endeavors and on his journey. And he even offers a token if Kai is willing to, in turn, willingly accept to repay him with a favor upon any time that Ramaka asks for it to be cashed in. And he's asking what this so-called token will be, and Ramaka pulls out a small kind of stick from his backpack. And as he does, Kai can just kind of feel the energy, and he kind of senses that Ramaka has just revealed a staff from his bag. Foot and a half long. Okay? Has a very ornate, engraved kind of insignia and different patterns kind of inscribed throughout it. It's a lot. He says, this is the staff of extending, and I think it would greatly help you on your mission. Now, do you want to know what the staff of extending is? What would you like to do?
Can you tell me about the staff? I know staffs.
I love staff.
Show me more.
He sees the twinkle in your eye.
Through his cloth.
Just a little tear coming
The
out.
nice
of the wall.
thing
The
about
word extension got me.
The nice thing about this staff is it can change size. Its normal state is as you see it right now, about a foot, foot and a half long. It has 3 command words. Extendo. It says extendo. Staff extends from its foot and a half nature on both ends to a full normal quarter staff size. And it is a full quarter staff in its perfect sense. He says its second command word, and he kind of angles the staff over to the right of him. Up a little bit. Imagine another kind of tree over here, right? Extendo Maximo! And as he says this, the staff shoots out in the direction that he's pointing 20 feet.
Yeah, you better write that
And
down.
it knocks into the tree very swiftly and hard. Like it's a pretty damn good strike that hits into the tree. For the final spell, or for the final casting word, Reducto. And the staff all of a sudden reduces right back to the normal where you first saw it in its little foot and a half state. It's something I've acquired amongst my travels and missions from Theo as well. And I feel that something in my heart tells me that it's calling to you and you would make more use of it than I would selling it to a mere shop, and I make my way back to town. And he offers it to you. So what do you say?
What
All I need is a favor.
what type, like, how big would this favor be?
All I need is a favor. It's nothing I need right now, just at the time when I may need it to be cashed in. I just need the favor. Could be anything from helping me to slay my next beast in an adventure to save the realm, or something along the lines as aiding me in financial gain to acquire something I need. Or something as simple as joining me for a drink at a Lou's bartending, a Lou's tavern, I believe, in Alacardia.
knows too much.
Alright, make me a deal here.
He's a knower.
He is making you.
That's the deal.
No, but I'm like, let's add something.
He's
to this.
redefining the
Let me-
parameters
yeah.
of the deal.
So you said that.
I am altering the deal.
Exactly.
Alter it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Deals
I
get
want
worse all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
Let me just run it back real quick.
Okay.
Alright. So you said, like, one of these things can be me, like, aiding you in something, right? Let's just make sure this favor, quote unquote, doesn't go to where I have to take my life for you. My life,
bastard.
my life can be in danger, but not in death danger with this favor.
He looks at you and says, a favor is a favor. It's not for you to decide what the favor is going to be cast or called upon in use.
Oh,
Every
The
danger.
devil.
Now, I'd love, like I said, to help you on your journey and your quest and to build that relationship further that we have so desperately acquired in me saving you and your party here today. But for now, I need a favor potentially down the line, and I'd be more than happy to give this to you as a token to get that favor and cash it in at a later point.
I trust you.
I know.
Give me that staff of awesomeness.
And you grab the staff of extending.
Now, as Aramaka and Kai make this deal for the Staff of Extending in exchange for a favor down the road, we can jump back to pretty much everybody else gathering wood and preparing camp, and they all kind of come up as, you know, this kind of conversation and exchange has just ended. And as they all kind of gather around, Kieran starts trying to kind of pass insults at the fact that Aramaka's got only one arm, even though this dude just saved their butts. And we then, jump over to Kai, who tries to, blindly add to insult to injury and tries to shake the right hand, the missing hand of Ramaka, which he kind of, just ghastly kind of, feels a chilling touch kind of pass through his fingertips as he reaches his hand out. And everyone's kind of curious, what's this dude's deal? And Ramaka even tells him that he does in fact have both his hands. And Terex kind of just has enough, and as he kind of stands up for a second, he asks,
Just tell me your story. Like, you're hearing about us. What's your story?
Well, as I said before, I'm a true blood from House Raishi. I was actually the last true blood that Raishi himself turned before his sudden disappearance during the Dracula Wars.
Dracula.
I was a human, full, before I was turned into this true blood vampiric state. And to be honest, at the time, I wasn't quite sure, being thrown into the Dracula Wars, what to do. And I actually joined House Malastare and House Dracula in their pursuits and efforts. And I'm not going to lie, learned quite a lot and was quite successful in our endeavors. However, King Theo, as you all know, interrupted and came into the scene and revealed his plans to stop House Malastare and Dracula. And in doing so, not only destroyed both of them, but reclaimed the throne for himself and for House Alicord and House Reishi, and kind of returned Alicardia into the state that it is today. And however, all this is very recent. It was a quite significant display of power and strength from Theo's part. And being that my bloodline is on House Reishi's to begin with, I chose not to continue my alliance with the two houses I saw fit with, and to join House Reishi again, and with Theo and Castle Mars to do what he was looking to do and regain that kind of prosperity he so speaks of back to the kingdom itself and to the realm here. However, I'm not going to lie, stuff bores me and I'm not very much into politics. Theo and myself decided very early on into his coming into power that my abilities and efforts would be best used as a spy or as an agent working for Theo, going throughout these lands and reporting back to him on things I see, people I interact with, and things the enemies of our houses and of the realm itself would not like to be seen. I'm the one who finds those on the low, returns the information to Theo, and in return I get paid a very hefty fee, on which I can do with whatever I please. Myself, in nature, I am a fighter by heart, and my arm, in a very interesting accident, was damaged and injured, and with Theo's help,
I'm gone.
was turned into a, for lack of better terms, as you kind of see this vampire smirking, was a ghost hand. For I'm sure Theo explained all the different planes to you all.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the plane, as we are all currently in, is as you see us all standing here, is the reality plane. Things that are happening in the here and now are happening as we see them, and that is how things are going, and time is moving in a fluid span. Then there's the ethereal realm, and that is where the spirits go on their way to heaven and or hell. Or if they aren't destined to a location of either or, they remain in that limbo state for all eternity, never to be satisfied and never to enjoy the company or love of anyone else. Certain entities can travel throughout the ethereal plane, and as it is a plane that is pretty much all around us in our existence, only spirits can see throughout the plane and can move throughout the plane. However, strong entities can move things within the reality plane, as I such did with you, my friend, in shaking your hand or attempting to. And you kind of realize that the wisp of the air going through your fingers was him trying to literally shake your hand with his ghost hand.
Whoa.
And he says, in my accident, I was able to transfer my arm into the ethereal plane. Doesn't do much good to me here in the reality realm, as far as it can't really do much to block and or assist in attacking. However, in the ethereal plane, I have the advantage of actually being able to stop, attack, and defend myself against the spirits and against people of that plane. It also helps that Reishi himself, when creating me, made me a bit of a different true blood vampire than the rest of his household. And you kind of see almost kind of a bit of a regret as he's kind of saying this. For I lack the ability to turn anyone into a vampire. I can't even turn anybody into a half or quarter blood. I do run off of blood myself, however, just sucking it does not give me any other ability other than just regaining my health. It doesn't transfer into the person or anything like that. Instead, what Reishi thought would be genius is infusing a vampire with a reverse sense of the term. Instead of sucking the life force away from others, I can give my own life force to others by still biting and incorporating the same method. And as he says this, you all realize that's what he did to you all on the top of the cliff as he saved you from the Kraken. And he kind of nods as I helped you all with the Kraken. It does directly suck from my own life force. However, being a true blood vampire, I do regain my life at a very natural rate, so it does balance out quite well for me. And as he's kind of telling all this stuff too, my other hand, with the help again of Theo,
Just crawling around.
I placed surgically a bag of holding into my palm. And as he holds out his left hand, kind of revealing his palm, he's got literally just this black hole, almost in the whole palm of his hand. And it just looks like empty black space, like the deepest, darkest black hole you could ever freaking imagine. Can't see any light in it, can't see any shadows, nothing. And he says, within this bag of holding, I have a winch system. And that is how I'm able to extend my chain whip and use it in aiding myself in attacking in the fighting style that I do. My sword, and he kind of just motions the sword still on the ground next to him, is a slayed rapier. The blade is actually made purely from the obsidian that is found in Alacardia. And the blade is enchanted and quite strong and durable in itself. Being as narrow and pinpointed as it is, I can deliver quite lethal blows and with great precision to the targets that they would fall upon. My mission I was just on was actually spying on Core Kingdom and also the Land of Law, your realm, the Dark Elf. And I've, unfortunately, regret to say, I found some disheartening things that I have to return to Castle Mars and inform Theo about with great haste. As I was making my way back to the castle, I stumbled upon you all by the alert of the Kraken,
You poor idiots.
casting its lightning
Not
storm.
necessarily. It is. We stumbled into a bad situation.
And he says he saw the lightning strikes form in the clouds and alerted him to your guys' location. And upon finding you, at least for a good story, decided to save you all and figure out the rest as it came. And with that, here we are, sitting under a tree, and I'm telling you all ghost stories and about planes of
And
existence.
there's a little bit of music going on.
Along with the ethereal and reality plane, since you all are still learning, there is also a dimensional pocket. Pocket dimensions are a place that exists between time and space. I've only seen one in my entire existence. They're extremely hard to come by, find, and make. I've never met anyone who had the ability to conjure one just from their own will. Pocket dimension, depending on the size, can be filled with whatever the creator desires, meaning actual items from the plane of reality and or from the ethereal plane.
Interesting.
This pocket dimension travels with the creator, and the creator can access it and go into it at any time they so please. Then we have temporal soul states. A soul state is something that everyone who at least has a soul has. For
Which I'm
instance,
not sure about you,
myself,
Terry.
being a vampire, and when I was turned from a human, I lost that ability to tap into my soul state. And when I truly die, it is only oblivion for me and nothing else. Now the soul state is, think of almost your happy place or a place of meditation, your mind palace. For you, as he looks to you, Terry, I believe it's the place that you have a friend trapped.
I wouldn't call him a friend.
And as you just hear Abaddon.
Like,
He's just,
Fuck you, Terry. I cannot wait to kill you.
he's just
Not a friend.
screaming in your mind,
Yeah,
just
not a
hating
friend.
on everything, right? And you can tell this dude's smart. He can just tell some shit. And he says, soul states are quite impressive, and being able to also use them to a point of benefit is very, very hard to do. Also, when you dream, for instance, you are in your soul state form. So those are the different planes of existence that you may come across in your journeys on your way to the monastery and throughout the realm here of Dordania. Now, I can't stay with you all. I do have to get back to the castle. However, I am willing to stay the night and make sure that you all are at least set off on your way for the journey to the monastery.
And as Aramaka kind of tells the party who he is and, what his purpose is here, the crew, is very interested, and Kai actually has another question, which he presents.
And I got mugged a while back, and I gave them everything, so now I have, like, no money.
And what about the rest of you? How are funds for the rest of your party?
Very low, bro. I got 100 gold, and that's about it.
Oh, wait, what?
Personally speaking, I'm fine. I seem to.
Oh, well, you
I
are.
seem
The
to.
behemoth says he's pretty good.
Yeah, I seem
What's
to do
the
well
attack?
with life. So
I'm broke.
I'm good. I got 2,271. I could probably spot one boy over here.
Well, as you say that, he looks, if you're willing, be my guest, or for you, and he looks to you, Karen, and for you, Kai, I'd be more than willing for another favor to give you each 10,000 gold.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
oh, you're a bunch of sellouts. You're a bunch of sellouts, dude.
That's a
I
gun,
swear.
man. That's a gun.
You don't think that's a cost? Hello.
That's a gun.
There's a cost to this.
That's my one goal in this entire.
Like, oh my gosh.
That's a favor.
Got it?
Yeah, that's a
It's
gun.
a
Well, I
devil's
gave you a
favor.
favor, so
It's another house, too.
can I give you, like, something else?
No, it's a favor.
Oh, only nothing less than your soul.
He wants favors. He doesn't want things.
All
I ain't got no problem giving you favors, man.
He wants favors.
All right.
Yeah.
I owe
What if
favor.
5,000 gold, but no favors?
No.
2,000 gold, but no.
How about you double it and I owe you 2 favors?
He doesn't want gold. He wants your favor.
And as both Kieran and Kai accept the favor for 10,000 gold, Ramaka kind of tells them that we should make camp and, kind of settle in for the night while he's going to return to the forest for something.
I pull forward first watch.
You want to pull first watch?
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
we'll pull
watching
first
out for
watch.
my crew.
Everyone else wants to sleep?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I want a long sleep.
Aramaka, as he kind of turns behind this tree trunk, he seems to almost just kind of disappear.
What the?
And you guys don't quite know where he goes off to. He said he needs to turn in for the night, but you guys really know where he's turning in or what he's doing. And you
Got a
all
hammock.
get into the tent and start getting some shut-eye. It's maybe about 7:30 now after Makaz told you all these things. And Behemoth, you take first watch. Now, real quick before we break for the night, what would you like to do on your first watch?
I'd like to read my book for a moment.
Okay.
See if I can get some.
You still got pretzels over there.
Read your book. Go ahead and make your animal handling check. Y'all two are not going to be happy. No, I'm just being honest with that, okay? But I'm sorry. I'm going to say that ahead of time, okay?
Yeah.
Behemoth had a chance, but he's going to read the book. You can't change your decision right now, okay? You're reading your book, okay? As Behemoth is distracted by breaking his book out and reading his book,
Aramaka kills us.
what is your and your armor classes?
I'm a 13.
16.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely not gonna get past that. And what is your and your, we will say, passive wisdoms? The passive wisdom is all the way at the bottom.
17.
Got a nat 20. Did you see that shit?
Yeah, I did.
Doesn't
So it doesn't matter what.
even matter, bro. Don't even worry about it. I got a nat 20. Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of.
As you are tucking in for the night and kind of turning in, the 10,000 gold that
Get stolen
was
back.
just, well, you don't know if it's stolen back, but it's gone. And you won't find out until the next morning that it's gone. But the 10,000 gold from both of you guys is just vanished
I warned
and
you.
is gone. And it's not
I freaking
explained how
warned
it's gone, but something happens and you're all asleep and the gold gets taken.
See, y'all shouldn't take the devil's
I ain't
deals.
never coming back.
You keep listening to the devil. It's like, oh, it sounds really nice. I should probably take that deal. No, it's the devil.
You both lose your 10,000 golds, unfortunately.
Gone.
Oh my god.
I think it's Aramaka. That's just me.
And you're just soundly sleeping. You're just snoozing, Tara, just getting some good Z's in. That is where we will end tonight's session.
I
So,
ain't getting him no damn favor.
we'll see what happens. Thank you everybody for tuning in to another session of Tales of Dordania. It has been quite fun and adventurous. And we got some fun, exciting things. Everybody's making camp with Aramaka. And somehow 10,000 gold has just slipped out of the pockets of Kieran and Kai as they have gone down to bed. Tarek is sleeping soundly. And Behemoth has taken this opportunity, instead of making a perception check
Which I-
while taking first watch, to breaking out his book first and foremost, and jumping right into his reading. Let that be a lesson for everybody else.
Oh, sure.
And with that, have a good night. Take care, everybody. Stay blessed, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.